Those are the three things that I reckon helped me smash my half marathon and not end up in the medic tent again. It's Tuesday morning here right now. It is 7:21 a.m. I'm just about to start my 18-kilometer long run. I just finished my warm-up and dynamic stretches and a bit of a running drill just to get my limbs a bit warm. It's feeling a bit chilly right now this morning, but let's go. Just gonna take it nice and easy. This 18k long run will take you along. So my name is Brendan. I'm a runner based in Sydney, Australia, and I'm just recording this video so that I can share my journey on YouTube, share what I've learned, track my progress, and just have a little bit of fun. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about was, I guess, my half marathon progression. So last year I entered the Sydney Morning Herald half marathon. This was back in May, and I didn't do too well in that race. I actually ended up in the medic tent afterwards, probably from dehydration, probably from lack of nutrition, probably from lack of sleep, many factors. But ended up finishing in just over 2 hours, which I knew that I could do much better. And this year I wanted to change that. So this year the race got rebranded as the Hocker Half Marathon. Still running in May, running along the beautiful Sydney Harbour. So leading into this one, I want to talk about the three main things that I changed in my training, in my life, in order to smash the time. I ended up achieving a time of about just over an hour 45. Stopped here at a red light right now. It's a pretty gloomy day here in Sydney. Looks like there was a bit of rain overnight, and fingers crossed it doesn't rain on this run. I got my hat with me just in case it starts raining. This morning, running on my Cloud Monsters. Really comfy, easy running shoes, good for recovery. So last year, in the half marathon. So last year I started really quite quick for the amount of training that I was doing and for my level of fitness at the time. I did the first 15, 16 Ks at just about a 5:05, 5:10 pace, which was leading me in for a strong finish, maybe at about a hour 48, hour 49 half marathon. But at the 16k point, my legs just started cramping, my body started to feel like it was shutting down, and I was dragging my legs to the finish line, and I was feeling quite dizzy at the end. The world was spinning, and so you can imagine, well, just as I crossed the finish line, my body collapsed and I just couldn't move anymore. It's pretty crazy. So I accidentally recorded this clip as a time lapse, so unfortunately we lost the audio here, so I'll try my best to fill it in with what I thought I was saying. The first thing I changed in my approach was related to hydration, nutrition, and sleep. So for hydration, I made it a goal of mine to stop at every water station throughout the race to drink water to ensure that I stayed hydrated. I knew that if I waited to the point where I felt I needed it to drink, it would have been too late. I'm also not an elite runner, or even close to one, and losing a few seconds at each water station to stay hydrated and to run my best was well worth it. On sleep, I made sure that in the week prior, and especially the few days leading up to the race, that I was getting enough to more than enough sleep. So for me, that was between 7 to 9 hours of sleep, where 9 hours on the much higher end of what I usually get. And this was just to ensure that my body was well rested during the taper week before the race. And then there was a nutrition aspect of the race. I didn't want to I wanted to make sure that my glycogen stores were topped up all the way throughout the race, not letting them deplete and hit the wall. So I brought 3 gels along with me, which is, I know, really overkill compared to many other runners out there, but I really wanted to make sure that my glycogen was topped up. I had 1 gel 30 minutes prior to the race, a bit of water, another gel about 40 minutes into the race, and another gel 40 minutes later. Oh man, so it started raining a bit now. Just hope that doesn't get any harder. Very glad that I brought my hat, and hopefully not really any raindrops on the camera lens. Although it's not the prettiest day today. Rainy, going up another steep hill right now. Weather conditions are great and that it's nice and cool. So the second thing is having a structured training program. So what I mean by that is I planned about a 12-week block training into the Hoka Half Marathon. I had incorporated rep work, VO2 max intervals, speed work in general, tempo runs. Also trained a half marathon pace leading into the half marathon race, and I believe that had really helped me pick up my pace and get faster, run faster for the half marathon. It even improved my 5k time, where I ran a PB the month prior, and having a program really helped me have that gradual progression over time. I didn't feel stagnant. It was nice to move on from purely easy running and base training, as that was primarily what I did before doing that structured training program. So for example, a rep workout early on in the training block would have been like a 5x200, progressing into say 3x200, 2x400, progressing into 2x200, 5x400s, and eventually leading into some half marathon efforts, which involve say a 5x2k at a half marathon pace. So just about to enter the Kokoda Trail right now, which is in Concord West, close to Rhodes. I think it's quite a nice trail, taking you through some nice greenery. So the third thing that I say is having consistency in your training. So having a structured training plan is great and all, but you're not going to get the most out of it unless you're really following your program to a T. So if you do that, you should be able to reap the benefits of your training program and really see the benefits of all your training in your race at the end. And just on that third point, I think one of the main reasons why it could be hard, and it's happened to me before, hard to stay consistent in your training program, is that you end up with a couple niggles, say in your knees, your hip, your lower back. And I think the idea of following a structured training program is to, well, you want to set it up in a way that you minimize the chance of injury. Because if you're injured, you can't train. If you can't train, you don't get fitter, and you probably get less fit. You'll detrain over time. So the goal of all this is to run sustainably, run in a way that minimizes the chance of injury, taking steps beforehand to minimize that, and just enjoy running. So we're just about to get to the Rhodes waterfront. This is my favorite part of this long run, which is in fact the reason why I take this path on my long run. So I'm lucky enough to not live too far away within running distance. So let's go. It looks like there's not many people around here. It was a rainy morning. Usually the path of the roads are way more busy, so this is kind of nice to have this road to myself. About 11 k's into my run, got another 7 k's to go. Feeling pretty good. Like feeling a bit heavy, but should be good to just keep rolling. Those 3 things: firstly, hydration, nutrition, and sleep. Secondly, having a structured training program. And thirdly, training consistently. Those are the 3 things that I reckon helped me smash my half marathon and not end up in the medic tent again. So that's around the corner. Final leg at the end of this 18k long run. So stride to finish strong. To finish, that was just over an hour 50. Ran about at a 5:57 pace, about 18.7 k's. So hopefully you found those 3 things that I found improved my half marathon helpful. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on what you think helped you in your training. I'll see you in the next one.